So you're lonely. You're telling me that your problem is that you're lonely? Problem? Bro, it's my favorite time of the year. Come on. Come on. It's like, it's an excuse to do whatever I want with myself, okay? Like, it's literally introvert heaven. Like, I don't have to justify myself to anyone. I can disable all socials. It's my time. Like, it's the perfect excuse to be with myself and do the things that I absolutely love. Why is loneliness a problem? Hey, you know what? You know what? I promise you by the end of this video, you'll be like, oh my god, this is such a blessing. Because honestly, some of my favorite times are the times when I'm lonely, okay? I mean, it takes a while to get in the mindset, but once you're lonely, you realize, oh my god, I have the perfect excuse. Yes. Okay, okay. I know this can sound a bit confusing, but you will understand just why in a minute. Hello guys, the name's Ophelia. Welcome back to my channel. I give advices on self-development, mental health, building yourself, upgrading your life, etc. And today, I'm here to advise you on how you can make loneliness go out of the window and enjoy being alone. And actually make it the best time of the year, okay? It's like a festival. It's like self-love festival. Okay, fine. I'll tell you. See, don't take, first of all, loneliness as a problem. It's not a problem. Actually, it's just a normal cue from your body. Your body gives you signs when it needs something. It's like a baby cries when they need something, you know? The crying in itself is not bad. It's the problem that the baby is having. Perhaps it's the loud noise, or perhaps the baby is hungry. That is the problem, right? The baby crying is not so much of the problem. Like, it may be a problem for you, but for the baby, the crying is not the problem. That's how the baby reacted to it, right? So your body similarly, when you feel lonely, when your body is giving you that cue, it simply means a lack of connection to yourself. If you have to stay all the time with people to get that validation, to feel better about yourself, it represents a lack of connection to yourself, honestly. So we can conclude that loneliness is not really a problem, is it? It's just a normal sign from your body, a friendly sign actually. All these signs that our body gives are very friendly, because imagine we had no sign to tell us what's the problem. Imagine we had no pain in our arm to tell us that there's a broken bone. The bone would have been broken for years and you would have never known. Imagine. Your emotions are there for a reason. They're very good things. They're positive cues from your body. So loneliness is also actually a very positive cue. So if it represents a lack of connection to yourself, what you need to do is spend time with yourself and get to know yourself and forge that connection again. Now, how can you do that? There are multiple ways to do that, but my favorite one is, whenever loneliness comes around, I take it as an excuse to do whatever I want with myself. It's the perfect excuse to treat myself the best way possible. It's the perfect excuse to try whatever new I've always wanted to try, to treat myself in the best way possible without feeling guilty for my work. Because I'm sick, okay? I'm sick. And on a sick day, you are supposed to be taking care of yourself. You're not supposed to be like, oh, I'm missing work right now. Come on. Loneliness is literally a perfect excuse. Sick days are the best for that reason, okay? You get to miss school. And there's nobody to scold you on that, okay? It's the perfect excuse. Similarly, loneliness is also the perfect excuse for that. So what you can do is schedule a time in the day solely for yourself. Schedule an hour maybe at the end of the day, or some time that you know you get free. You have to schedule an hour solely dedicated to yourself. Maybe even more, maybe even 2 hours, 1.5 hours, whatever suits for you, okay? Me personally, I wake up a little early, because first of all, it also gives me the motivation to wake up early, and secondly, I feel that like I have more time on my hands, and it makes me feel better overall. And I don't feel like I wasted a part of the day, because self-love is never a waste of time, okay? Working on your mental health is productive, okay? So I wake up early to treat myself in the best way possible. It's one time of the year where I can get up not having to follow my study schedule. It's one time of the year where I simply get up to eat some chocolate or to watch a nice movie or I don't know, to make a video like this, because these come literally effortlessly to me and I love doing it, to journal perhaps, to read a book, basically whatever you love. It can be anything, okay? It should just be something that you truly love, something that makes you want to jump out of bed. And in case you sleep in late, even after making that decision, you know what? I let it slide now. I used to be hard on myself earlier, but I let it slide now. And you know what? I do that anyway. Even if I wake up late, I give myself that chocolate anyway. Sure, I don't go into my full luxury loneliness morning schedule, but I do give myself that piece of chocolate because I do deserve it. Nevertheless, because I'm sick. Okay, I'm sick. So yeah, basically take out an hour of the day for yourself in which you allow yourself to do whatever on yourself. I don't know, spend money on yourself or try out things that you've always wanted to do but have never been able to do. If there's some place you've always wanted to go, do that. If you want to spend money on something, do that. Basically, try out anything new that you've always wanted to do. The thing here is, it should be with yourself. You should be joining that class that you've always wanted to join for yourself. You should be trying those tutorials, drawing tutorials, I don't know, for yourself alone. Do things that you would love to do alone but basically never get a chance to do, okay? These, however, while they're acts of self-love, to find a better connection with yourself, you need to do two things, that is journaling and meditation. You really need to journal on any emotion that comes up, on any thought that comes up, on I don't know, anything that you're worried about or anything that makes you happy even just because you feel like it. You really need to look up journaling prompts and perhaps just start doing it for yourself. I promise you, at one point it becomes so addictive that you want to wake up first thing in the morning and you want to journal. Journaling also has so many side benefits. It helps you to take out emotions and to see them on paper. You can see it from a third person's perspective. You can see how you react, your patterns, you'll notice them better. It also helps your thoughts to be more organized. One of my friends, he literally kept thanking me over and over again because he really said that journaling really helped his thoughts to become more organized. So yeah, journaling can generally change lives. The second thing that can change your life is meditation. This is something he recommended me, by the way. We both changed each other's lives. But anyways, especially if you're a huge overthinker like me and cannot afford to sit alone and always gets anxious with thoughts and doesn't know how to let go of thoughts or people or detachment in general, meditation is an excellent thing to try out for you. It has several side benefits. I do not think I'll need to go into this because it's all there on the net. You can just look up any meditation videos. I'm telling you, nothing helped my anxiety more than meditating, honestly. It really helps you to see yourself more judgmentally, to really feel your emotions. It helps any emotions that come up, you really need to feel them. Journal and meditate with the mindset of feeling your emotions better, all right? Because to feel them better is you releasing those emotions. And sure, you'll cry for a while, but so what? So what? Like I said, every emotion is a friend. Every emotion is a friendly cue from your body that something is not right. Okay, the emotion is not the problem. The emotion is just a signal. It's a friend telling you that something is not right, you know. Similarly to how, you know, when you write a programming code, you get an error message, and that error message can sometimes feel so annoying. But if you don't get that error message, then the program will simply not execute and you will not know why. Your emotions are literally that error message, all right? They're helping you at the right time. Whatever you feel, it's perfect. It's perfect. It's not a problem. It's not negative. You know how we label emotions as positive and negative emotions? Stop doing that. All emotions are positive. All emotions are nice. Okay? So, journaling and meditation are two things that you must try and really help you forge a better connection with yourself and to really feel your emotions. And you know what? Don't be judgmental about it. Just observe them. You feel what every person feels. It's all right. It's all right. Sometimes take yourself out of your body even to see all these things from a third person's perspective. You will understand yourself better. Do a case study on yourself, okay? You're worth studying. People have such complex histories and such beautiful things hidden in them that they don't even realize. So much potential to be tapped into that they never realize. You're beautiful in that way, and you really need to heal from these emotions to actually feel that, because honestly, it's all beautiful. Along with journaling and meditation, you can also incorporate self-love affirmations or any sort of affirmations really that make you feel good about yourself. It's not necessary, but they can really help you. And also do those things that you know you must do to have a good life, but you don't do. Okay, there might be many on that list, but for me the major one was exercise. Okay, like it's something I rarely used to run from. I still do actually, but force yourself to do those things because I really know that it's good for me. It makes me feel better. It's good for my mental health. I know it will kind of feel like work sometimes, but you need to work in the name of self-love. Remind yourself that this is for myself, because you have to think of yourself to be so valuable that that temporary urge that takes over you is nothing. It's literally nothing. That temporary urge that takes over you, it doesn't even matter. You don't even have to entertain that thought, because you are valuable. Do it in the name of self-love. So similarly, anything like this that you know you must incorporate in your schedule, do that. All right, do that. Oh my god, I don't know how I haven't said this yet, but no socials. No socials. You heard me right. And the reason for that is, look, socials are meant to help us connect better, but end of the day, they have actually made us feel more isolated. The only means of connection you still have with a person sometimes is because they liked your story. In person, you may have more deep conversations with somebody, but over text, it's way too tedious to type all that. So socials have actually made us feel more isolated, and then we see all these stories which make us feel like people are having oh so much fun and all that. But trust me, people whom I've seen happy on socials are honestly people who are so sad on their own sometimes. They cannot live with themselves. It is the source of validation at times, which is so insecure. So, no socials for a week, or no matter how much time you will need for your loneliness phase. Like, I deactivate my Insta, I don't reply to anyone. It's an excellent excuse to not want to reply to anyone, to not do anything, to not having to explain myself to people. Yes, before you go into that phase, and if it's going to be a very long phase, do tell people that hey, I'll be off socials for a while because they are friends end of the day and you do owe them some explanation. But afterwards, oh my god, it's so good. I don't have to explain myself to anyone. I can be alone, I can enjoy alone, I can vibe alone. It's so nice. It's almost addictive after a point, I swear. Also, another thing that I'll say is, do not surround yourself with people whom you don't have a very deep sense of connection with. Listen, loneliness sometimes stems because you're just having casual conversations. For example, me, I cannot have people who only have casual conversations. Not my cup of tea, simply draining. Sorry. You need to have people whom you can have a deep talk with. It doesn't have to be a close friend. It can honestly be any person on the street. I have had some of the most profound talks with people whom I just randomly met on the street and said hi to. Honestly. Obviously, it has its own risks, like you have to see the vibes, you have to go with your gut, etc. Always trust your gut in these cases, by the way. Always. Okay? Always. Yeah, but I am not telling you to spill everything you're feeling and that you're lonely, whatever, to this new person. But you can have a deep conversation with these people because, number one, they don't have an image of you already in their head. This person is new. That's the thing about new people. They don't have an image of you in their head already. You're not inside a box in their head. You can go outside that box. There is no box in the first place. with people whom you already know, sometimes there is that psychological pressure to only talk of things that are there in that box. But with a new person, they're non judgmental because they don't even know you. And even if they are judgmental, okay, bye, jerk. Like, you don't really care because end of the day, it's a person you don't know. And let me tell you, I have made some of the best friends this way. Like, sure, there are people who have looked at me weird if I just said a normal hi, which I think is a totally normal thing to do. But honestly, it's not like a big deal. Just go talk to anyone. Go talk to anyone because these people are non-judgmental. And sometimes you really need that when you're mentally not doing so well. You need non-judgmental people to just listen to you. Perhaps you can't go that deep in your first conversation, of course, but to know that you just met a person who doesn't really care about you so much that they will hurt you, whatever, and then you might perhaps just never meet that person again. And still you share a bond with this person, and this person helped you so much. Wow, this is such a beautiful experience. And the last one is optional. You can do it, you cannot do it, it's up to you. But manifest something that you've always wanted to do. So for how to do manifestations and all, check out my video linked in the description. But basically, if you've always wanted to do something, try manifesting that. Maybe even try manifesting people. Actually, that's also great because if you have a very small group of friends and you really want to explore, but you want that feeling of loneliness to go away as well, then manifesting people requires you to be detached. You have to be whole in yourself to attract somebody. So I think the themes of detachment are already covered in manifesting. So yeah, manifest something. That's also always a nice thing to do. Oh, and this approach, by the way, is tried and tested. I did this and I literally recovered within 2 days. Within 2 days, I was not lonely any longer. Within 2 days, I suddenly didn't need anyone to complete me. And guess what? Also, the person I wanted to message me, who was kind of not seeming so interested in me, messaged me. So, this literally works. It's all about that one mindset shift, and bam, it's your favorite time of the year. So, yeah, I hope this video helped you. Do feel free to message me what's that one thing you did during this phase that's new and that's something you really like. Even if it's something as small as just, I don't know, watching a series, eating a chocolate, feel free to do that. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this video. Share with your friends, follow my Instagram for more such advices, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.